Hello, 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 Sir David the Bard. I'm coming to you from Baltimore, and a couple of my kangaroos wouldn't even drive down into the area that I kind of wanted to see, you know what I mean? They just hopped away from the car and said, "Go, Bard, go." Anyway, Sir David the Bard, I go through my comments, well, pretty much all the time. I see what you think, what you hear, what you feel, your opinions, and your advice, and your comments. I find them very interesting most of the time. Here's what I can't understand, and maybe one of you Christians, or Buddhists, or Baptists, Muslim, B and M are very close in the alphabet. Here's what I don't understand. You guys get on my website, or whatever. It's not a website. It's just a shit site. It's a bullshit site. And you argue back and forth on either doctrine or garments or tithing, and you threaten each other with hell, like you have the authority to put somebody in hell. You quote, you misquote, you partially quote, you make quotes up. Now here's what I'm saying. I don't mind that a bit. If I'm a forum, an open forum for discussion, that's what it's all about. Here's what I can't understand. I know a little bit about Mother Teresa from the Catholic Church. She spent her whole life on her knees feeding the hungry, comforting the sick, and nursing to the dying. I don't think she ever knocked on anyone's door and said, "Your church is an abomination. Come, Jesus has sent me to give you a message that Joseph Smith staring in a hat and bumping away on 14-year-olds is what it's all about." Mother Teresa is one of my heroes. If her religion made her do that, that draws me towards her religion. It taught her something that I envy, that I'm jealous that she had that much courage and time. I guess she never got sick being around so many sick people. I don't know. Here's my point. Why are you all so worried about the souls of other people? Who made you a god to worry other people by where they're going? I'm not worried about where I'm going. I could care less where I go. I could care less that I got sent here. This is a living hell right here. Here's what I don't understand. You'll get on the computer and you'll argue Jesus this and Mormon that and Joseph Smith this and Brigham Young, and you argue back and forth, trying to convert or trying to unconvert. I don't know what the hell you're trying to do. It's your business. It doesn't bother me. But you know what? Here's what does bother me. And this bothers me a lot. You damn people that are preaching and preaching and preaching about Christ. And I guess, because I don't believe in Jesus, but there's a lot of good things that were said that I do believe in. Those who are greatest among you, let him be your servant. Mormon Church doesn't seem to understand that. Evidently Monson doesn't. I drive quite often. I have to post a sign and a siren, Bard coming, and I come into these freeway on-ramps, and here's a man standing there with a sign. Now, granted, some of those people are rip-offs. Some of those people are laughing at taking your money. But some of them are not. Some of them really are humans in need. Mentally ill, sick, disabled, unemployed, homeless, most of them homeless. Here's what I say. I'm not a god, nor do I want to be. Mormon Church, don't make me a god. First thing I do is dissolve your religion. Anyway, I have to give what I can. Now, I don't give to every bum. that's standing on the corner. Don't let me try to persuade you the bar just gives out money. When good things happen to me and I have an extra buck here and there, I'll stop. I'll give the guy a buck, drive off. Sure, he might buy cigarettes. Sure, he might buy alcohol. Sure, he might be whatever. See, the Mormons all know what's inside these people's heads. That's why they give to their church 10%. Because they know the church is not going to buy bad stuff with their money. They stupid. Your money goes much better at $1 to a bum than it does to tithing, which goes into a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Here's the point. Hypocrisy. See, I can't take hypocrisy because my dad was a child molester. I've told you that several times. My dad's a child molester. But he'd go to the Mormon church and he'd stand up at the podium. He was the Sunday school superintendent. Welcome, welcome, Sabbath morning. Isn't it a beautiful day? I was just fucking my daughter last night, but I wanted to come to church today and look like I'm not a pedophile. I can't take it, folks. You people act like you're worried about somebody else's soul. If you were, you'd give them $1. You wouldn't smack them on the face, insult them. You're going to hell. Oh, I feel sorry for you. Should I go by the bum? Should I go by the bum on the corner and go, oh, I feel sorry for you. You're poor and you're going to hell because you're not a Mormon. I can't take the hypocrisy. I can't take the $15 billion, whatever it is a year they take in, I think, in tithing, and hundreds, millions of dollars for malls and for cattle ranches. I can't take it, folks. I can't take it that the Mormons are concerned about my soul. Sure they are. Sure they are. Oh, they're so concerned about my soul that they'll help me financially. Sure they will. They'll help me if I'm hungry. Sure they will. It's the biggest hypocrisy group I've ever met. They're constantly talking about saving other people's souls, but they're constantly taking in other people's money and not sharing it. I think 1.65 of the billions of dollars the Mormon Church has taken in over the last 10 years went for humanitarian projects. Makes me want to throw up. Don't worry about my soul. Worry about your own soul. When you don't roll your window down and hand $1 out when you can, you're a hypocrite. You make me sick. Why are people in the Mormon Church so worried about other people's souls? Now, I'll tell you why. It's a cult. Cults depend upon a few things. One is missionary work. You've got to bring more people into the cult. You've got to bring this because there's so many people leaving all the time, trying to keep some kind of homostasis status. Is that a homosexual status? That's his brother. I don't know. They both start with H. Anyway, a cult has to bring people in, so they have to have missionaries. I remember a Hare Krishna standing at the airport in Los Angeles, and they'd have a flower. And I thought, God dang, this person's really nice. They gave me a flower. Then they say, well, are you going to give a donation? I said, hell no. I'll give you your flower back. And I did. I've seen the Moonies. I've seen the ones that were going to heaven in a spaceship. 24 of them died. I've seen Jonestown over and over on video. I've seen cults. They thrive on money and bringing more people in. The members of the cult usually have deep down embedded feelings that this is fake. This is stupid. But when they have a new person come in, it re-verifies. See? This isn't stupid. They saw the truth, and I've seen the truth. We're brothers. Unless you leave them, then they don't even know what your name is. They shun you like, poop on the ground. Anyway, it makes me sick that religious people are always really worried on paper and in mouth about the welfare of other humans. But will they roll down a window and give a bum $1? No. Will they give him a Book of Mormon that he can't read because he doesn't have glasses, or he has glaucoma? B and G are very close in the alphabet. Will they help somebody else? Really, if they're so concerned about a person's soul, why wouldn't they be concerned about the person's body? Is religion just for souls? Maybe it is. I don't know. To me, religion is helping other people's bodies. If you can help their souls, if Mother Teresa is feeding someone and they said, you know, what religion are you from? I really admire you. And she says, well, I'm a Catholic. That would impress me. If someone was feeding me when I was starving to death, I would say, you know, why are you doing this? She might say, because I'm a Catholic, and we believe in helping people's bodies. What you do with your soul is your own business. But your body is dying. Your body is hurt. It's injured. You're sad. You're disillusioned. You've been humiliated. I'm just a different bird. I'm just a different bird. I wish I could roll my window down and hand out $100 bills. I can't. I still have kids and house payments and whatever. I can't give that much. But you know what? I do give what I can. The other day I was in the Mexican restaurant down here in Chascamuca. I was in Mexico for a couple of hours, and this young man always waits on us. And we were there during the recession when nobody was in his restaurant. And he would come over, very friendly, a young Mexican kid, and he waited on our table and waited and waited. He was the most polite person in the world, and I always gave him a $2 tip. I always gave him a $2 tip because I like the kid. Now when I go in the restaurant, he knows what I'd like to eat. I don't even have to order. He knows to go get that Diet Coke. He knows to go get those extra napkins. And he knows and seems to like me. The other day, we refinanced the kingdom down here in Guatemala. I have a home that I own in Guatemala. We refinanced it. We locked in 2.99 for 15 years. That's a celebration. The Bard made over $90,000 in unpaid interest. I gave him $5. That ain't a lot. I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to make my head big. I'm talking on a principle. When things happen to me that are good, why can't I share them with somebody else that's unsuspecting that they're going to get a little extra money? Religion, I think, is the curse of this world. You people want to argue and argue and argue and try to convert each other because you know that you don't want to work. You don't want to roll your window down and earn an extra dollar and hand it out and don't care where it goes. Goes to booze, liquor, might go to a Book of Mormon, might go to a Quran. We don't know. I'm not a god, and neither are you. Not one damn one of you arguing out there on my website thing, whatever you call it. What do you call it? A blog? A blog? I don't know. It started with a B. That's close. You're no better than anybody else. And for you to worry about people's souls is laughable. You talk like you have authority. God will not be mocked. I'm mocking God right now. Mock. Did anything happen to me? No. Will something happen to me? Well, all the religious people say, yeah, you're going to rot in hell. You'll have a pitchfork. And out of darkness, you won't be able to see anything. So what? I don't care. I'm living the best life that I can. The reason that the Mormons say in their temple, God will not be mocked, is because the ceremony is so damn silly that any human above an IQ of 70 is going to mock that and go, what the hell? Pay me, lay me, and ail me? Huma, it looks like goddamn voodoo. It looks like a voodoo camp in there. It looks like satanic ritual cults with altars and all the names of these people on this altar. We're going to heal, and we want you to make them feel better. Women, veil your faces. Most of you are ugly as hell. I don't understand. I'm like a child. I don't understand that shit, and I don't understand how somebody can be married in that crap and not mock it. Wear these magic panties and underwear garments. Yes, you'll be uncomfortable. Yes, it'll be inconvenient. Yes, it'll be embarrassing. And yes, you'll have skid marks that look like you've been to the drag races. But God will not be mocked. They're trying to put themselves in a position of a God. Say, don't mock us. Don't mock us. Your soul's gonna burn. There's so. But if I'm hungry, will they put 1 teaspoon of cereal in my mouth? 6,000 children will die tonight, every night, from hunger on this planet. And you Mormons build a multi-billion-dollar mall. See, that's religion. See, that's why I'm atheist. I don't want to even be close to that. I got 5 out of the Philippines that were hungry. I spent my money. Immigration. Jesus didn't help me. Jesus didn't help me at all. I'll tell you who did help me a little bit, Catholic Charities. I went over to Catholic Charities and they let me use their attorney a little bit now and then. They're putting their money where their mouth is. The Mormons, not a dime. Not a damn dime. I got 5 out of the Philippines that were starving. I'm not Jesus. I'm not a God. I'm not a king of the universe. I don't own everything. How many did Jesus get out of there? I get a little emotional on this one. I was in the orphanage. I would go back if I wasn't so old. I saw a baby that was almost brand new, probably 1 or 2 days old. It was left on the steps of the Catholic Church, was now in the orphanage. Mixed in with kids that are 7, 8, 9, 12. I bought as much rice as I could afford. And I drove it over there. And I put it on the ground. And I didn't say, just give this to the Mormons. I said, give this to every hungry child. I took a couple of them down to the mall. They'd never been in a store. They've never been in a tricycle, which is a car in the Philippines. Bought them a dress. Bought them a couple pairs of shoes. Sent them back. And when I walked in, the other kids would beg. Take me. Take me. I bought a whole bunch of little trinket toys at one store, and I took them in, and it was like they had died and gone to heaven. Each one could take a trinket toy and sit and play with it rather than a rock. I can't do more than I can do. I can't take so much, like Mother Teresa. I don't know if she had a family or children. I guess not. I guess there's a balance in life, a balance. But when you people Mormons talk to me with your mouths and your hypocrisy and giving 10% of your income to a corporation with no accounting of where that money goes, you are stupid, you're selfish, and you're hypocritical. I saw my rice go into their mouths. I knew I was helping other people. A couple of the kids said to me, "Do you want to visit Nancy?" I said, "Well, where's Nancy? How come she's not out here with the rest of you?" "Oh, she's in the back room." "Okay, I'll visit Nancy." They take me back, and Nancy is sitting. There's no such thing as a wheelchair in the Philippines. In her own urine and bowel movement. Profoundly retarded and somewhat spastic, some kind of neurological disease or problems. I walked over to her. Most people won't even go close to her. And I took her filthy hand. And I said, "Hi, how you doing?" She couldn't speak. But she could see my concern. And she just smiled and smiled and smiled. And babbled and babbled and babbled. You could see she was happy that one human being would come over and not be afraid of her and not shun her. She just needed recognition. She just needed someone to say, "Hi, how are you?" She didn't need a Book of Mormon. She didn't need an endowment session. She didn't need to live the law of consecration. She didn't need to go to the Mormon Mall, the City Creek Mall. What she needed was someone to clean her up, someone to bring her out with the rest of the kids, feed her, and make her physical body as comfortable as possible. Her soul, it'll go where it's going to go. Mormonism isn't going to change where your soul goes. Catholicism, Muslims, 71 wives and blowing up people, Buddhists, Hindus with the third eye. If you think that's going to make you go somewhere else after you die, good for you. Good for you. Because if I get in a position of judgment ever in the eternities, I will say to you, what did you do yesterday to lift the burdens of the physical burdens of your brethren and sisters on that planet? And if you say to me, nothing, that's what you're going to get. Nothing. I'm not going to burn you in hell. I'm not sending you into outer darkness. I'll say, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. The principle I'm talking about is talking about trying to save human souls. Humans don't have that authority. Humans have never been given that authority by any god, Hebrew, Bishop, Bupu, I don't know. Voodoo gods? They told you to go around and convert all the people to your cult. Well, why don't you just go to your own chapels with your own family and worship your own God, and when you can, roll your damn window down. Don't be judgmental, Mormons. Hand out $1. Hand out $1. And don't look at the rest of us as apostates or someone you have to convert. I don't need to be converted. I don't want anything to do with Mormonism here or Mormonism in the next world. I don't want anything to do with Jesus. He does 6,000 kids that die a night. I couldn't feed all those kids in that orphanage for more than 2 or 3 days. Bag after bag after bag of rice I took in there. And when I first started this show, before the Mormons shut me down as far as giving stuff away to the Philippines, I sent fish and candy and clothing to that orphanage. Once the Mormons started tracking me and trying to shut me down, I had to get out of the money business. I never take a dime. I worked all these years with zero money, so the Mormons can't touch me with lawsuits or court orders or whatever. They'd love to shut me down. I feel guilty that I didn't help Nancy more. I had 22 other kids that were pulling on me and asking if I could hold them. They just wanted to sit in my lap, have adult attention. You know, of all the things I could get before I end my life is a chance to go back to that orphanage in the Philippines, in Butuan City, and get 3 or 4 more of those little precious souls out and bring them to America. When my little gal comes in, she's almost 17 now. I have my video cameras through the house because I'm old and I can't see shit. She comes home from school, and the first thing both of my girls do is go to the refrigerator. You don't know how that makes me feel inside, that there's food in there, all the food that they want, any time that they want. And they came from a country where they slept on the ground, seldom had food, were miserable their whole life. And when I see my 17-year-old on camera, because she won't do it in public, licking the rice bowl, it reminds me where they came from and what I've done. Jesus didn't do shit for my girls. Never has, never will. If you want to give the Bard a wonderful present, arrange for me to go back to the Philippines and adopt 3 or 4 more of those little souls in that orphanage and get them the hell out of there.